Let's now speak to Peter Silburn. He's the chair of the Norwich Cycling Campaign and joins me live in the studio. Good morning to you, Peter.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Did you come in on your bike?
I certainly did, yes.
Good. First question. Good stuff. So, obviously, you're going to talk to us from a cycling point of view. How dangerous was the Heartsease roundabout before the improvements?
Well, it was incredibly dangerous. It was effectively a kind of no-go zone for cycling. If I was up in that neck of the woods, I avoided it. I think a lot of people did the same. I basically took a sort of detour around, away from the roundabout. It was just somewhere where you just wouldn't want to cycle. So, yes, it's definitely an improvement on what was there before.
And it is a very much a main part of getting into the city. If you're coming from Thorpe Andrew or Sprouse or anywhere like that, it's such a heavily used roundabout, and obviously that includes cyclists as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's a main road. It's on the ring road, so it's part of, it's on a major arterial road into the city, but it's also the shops and houses on the junction. So it's a difficult one. So they're trying to cram a lot into there. So yes, obviously it's an improvement. It couldn't fail not to be. There's a bit of history to this. The original plans that they came up with were very poor. We objected to those, and a lot of other people did as well. So they went back to the drawing board. They invited us to try and improve the plans, and we did that. So we're reasonably pleased with what they've done. They have done quite a good job. Could be done a lot better. There's a lot of it's not the best type of design, but it is certainly an improvement.
So what don't you like about it?
So there's a thing called a Dutch-style roundabout, which is kind of the gold standard, and it's what the Dutch do. The Dutch are famous for catering for cycling, and these have started to appear in the UK. The first one was in Cambridge, and it's really what we should be aiming for. It's totally separates cyclists, pedestrians, and drivers, and is a very safe design, and that's really what this was originally proposed to be. So we didn't get that, but we got this sort of halfway house. So it is a lot safer, but it's not particularly convenient for cyclists. I won't go into the technical details of it, but it could be a lot better. If anyone's used it, there's a lot of this tactile paving and so on, which if you design it properly, you totally avoid all of that. So by doing a halfway house, they've created a lot of sort of engineering problems for themselves. So, but it is definitely an improvement. We can't disagree with that.
Okay, and you would say it is safer now, would you?
Absolutely, and the figures obviously bear that out. So yes, and I don't avoid it anymore. I happily go straight through the junction, and yes, it's safe.
Because knowing that part of the where it is, to avoid it, you have to go quite out of your way, don't you?
Well, indeed, yes. And just as a side note there, with the original plans, they included cycle diversionary routes for people to take. So it's kind of admitting that the plan was dangerous. So yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they met you halfway, it sounds.
Kind
at
of,
least,
yes.
Yeah. So just tell us in a general term, how dangerous can roundabouts be for cyclists?
Well, junctions are the problem. If you look at the statistics, particularly in places like London, whenever there's a fatality, it's always at a junction. So that's the area you need to focus on. So they're quite right in working on this. But one roundabout isn't going to transform Norwich into a cycling city. They need to be doing a lot more. You mentioned earlier about it's the year of the Thunderhorse or something. Firehorse. I do
bold predictions and bold things.
I think Norfolk County Council needs to be a lot bolder. And yes, they've done a decent job here. They just need to be doing a lot more of it.
Also in general, Peter, you would probably say that it's on drivers as well to just be more careful around cyclists. Is that a fair comment?
Well, yes. There are some drivers who drive too fast and drive aggressively, but really, if you design the roads such that you kind of engineer that out, and that's kind of what the Dutch do by providing, on busy roads you have cycle lanes, fully protected cycle lanes. It's unreasonable to expect someone on a bicycle to be cycling on a busy road with 70 mile an hour cars or even 40 mile an hour. So you need the physical protection. So it's the design of the road layout that really helps, so that if occasionally drivers are aggressive and speeding too fast, it's not too much of a problem because you're not sharing the same space with them.
Yeah, good point. Now, Is there anywhere else, it's your chance to say now, specifically dangerous in Norfolk that you would like to be looked at?
Well, I think the whole of Norfolk, just to widen it out a bit. I mean, I moved here fairly recently, about 5 years ago, from the southeast, and I have to say, Norfolk, there's very little cycling provision. I mean, the fact that I can't cycle to the coast, I find quite remarkable. When I lived in the southeast, I could find a good cycle route to get me to the coast. There should be a cycle route to Cromer and to Great Yarmouth and to the Broads, but there isn't. So Norfolk is very poorly served. Norwich is a lot better. It's got some decent cycle routes. If you're asking where in particular, well, probably the ring roads, I would say, especially the outer ring road. All the junctions there are very dangerous. And in fact, in 2023, when we had 3 cyclists killed in Norwich, one of them was on one of the junctions on the ring road. So it's junctions that we need to be focusing on.
And if people want to kind of get involved in the cycling campaign in Norwich, how do they do that, Peter?
We've got a website, norwichcyclingcampaign.org. Please find us. You can join up. We have a monthly newsletter that you can subscribe to for free, where we share all the good news and the bad news. We do criticise the council quite a lot, but occasionally we do say nice things about them. But yes, sign up to our monthly newsletter to find out what's going on.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Peter Silburn here, the chair of the Norwich Cycling Campaign. And he mentioned there the website if you want to get more information.